What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, and TV shows. And right now I'm going to talk about the second episode of the HBO Max series, The Penguin. Now, the first episode was phenomenal. I loved the first episode. I thought it was a great start to the series. Picked up right where the Batman left off and started to build this world of Gotham from the perspective of one of its criminals. And I was hopeful that episode 2 would be able to carry the same momentum, and I'm very happy to report that it did. I loved this episode. I thought so far The Penguin is probably the best show on TV for me, anyways. For me, that's just my opinion. But I'm really enjoying it. Now it's only 2 episodes in. It could nosedive, who knows? But I don't think it's gonna, because this really seems like very strong storytelling. That they have a plan, a narrative that they want to tell, and it's really fantastic so far. And this episode did a great job of showing just how intelligent Penguin is, just how intelligent Oz is. You know, he knows that he's climbing this ladder, and he knows that there's going to be risk that he's going to have to take to climb this ladder. But ultimately, he's willing to take those risks for the power that comes with it. And I just love his approach with Sophia. And you know, she's scary. She is scary. The lady that plays her, the How I Met Your Mother late girl from the last season of that show, she's doing a great job. She's scary, and it's the eyes. She's got those crazy eyes. She definitely is selling psychopath. There's a scene in this episode where she meets her cousin, and the cousin's daughter comes up, and you could tell that cousin didn't want Sophia interacting with her daughter, and it was just a creepy scene. Her barrette got little girl's barrette was out of place, and Sophia goes to fix it, and the mom says, "I can get it," and Sophia looks at her and says, "I got it," with like this icy dagger of a look. And just a scary person. And the way that Oz is using her as a piece on his chessboard, it's fantastic to watch. And the irony in it is that she's using him as a piece on her chessboard. And you know, we know that this is going to come to a big head. How is it going to happen? Like, this is exciting to watch. The way that they're setting up this conflict between Oz and Sophia, it's exciting to watch. But she is fantastic. There was a scene where Oz was about to get caught betraying the family, the Falcone family, and he is able to pin his treasonous behavior onto somebody else. And as the scene was playing out, I kind of was thinking that it was gonna go in a direction that I didn't like. I thought that it was gonna go into a direction that I found unbelievable. It looked like initially he was trying to pin it onto one person, and I thought, okay, if they buy this ruse, I'm trying not to be too spoilery here, but I was thinking to myself, if Sophia and her family, if they buy this ruse that Penguin is in, it's gonna make them look stupid. But he went in a different direction. He chose somebody else to pin it on other than the person that he was initially interacting with, and it worked. And I understand why that worked, because he wasn't the focus of who Penguin was going after. Again, I'm being vague here, but if you've seen the episode, you know what I'm talking about. So I was afraid it was going to go into a silly direction where it would make the Falcones look stupid, and it didn't. It went in a different direction, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant the way that he handled it. I'm still really enjoying Penguin's relationship, mentorship, kidnapping, whatever you want to call it, of Vic. I find Vic to be a very interesting character. Again, I kind of refer to him as Penguin's Robin. But there's a scene in the episode where Vic fails Penguin. And Penguin makes Vic lay down in a grave and literally tells him, "This is where you belong. Now, I'm gonna, you know, teach you a lesson here, but remember, this is where you belong. So don't fail me again. You have to adapt." And it was just this moment where you're like, yeah, Penguin is scary. He is a bad person, and we're rooting for him. And it's this weird dichotomy where we're rooting for a bad person. But here's the thing: the people that Penguin is hurting in this show, they aren't innocent people. The people that Penguin is hurting, they're bad people. And because he's hurting bad people, we can root for him because they're bad. Yeah, he's bad. He's a bad guy. But he's hurting bad guys. And because of that, we can kind of root for him. And I wouldn't even call him an anti-hero. He's a villain. But we can root for him because he's hurting bad people. For his own selfish interest, right? He's hurting bad people for his own selfish interest to rise the ranks and become the crime lord of Gotham. It was cool this episode. You know, we a couple times we heard that crime is on the rise in Gotham ever since the flood, and I think that establishes, you know, that they're number one, it reestablishes the connection to the movie, the Batman. But number two, it establishes that, you know, Batman has got his issues to deal with right now. We're not going to see him, so he's got his issues to deal with right now. So it kind of, this rise in crime is establishing why we're not going to see Batman. You know, oftentimes when you watch MCU movies, you know, Captain America: Winter Soldier, great movie by the way. It's one of my favorite MCU movies. But at the end of the movie, you kind of question, why aren't the Avengers there? You know, things happen in the MCU and you're like, why aren't the Avengers there? We know why Batman's not there. Why Batman's not poking his head on what Oz is doing. There's other things happening. They answer that, which I think is very brilliant. So, fantastic second episode. Can't wait to see episode 3. I am fully locked into this show. HBO Max is doing DC really well. You know, Peacemaker, I loved Peacemaker. Now we're at the Penguin. HBO Max is doing DC right. So, yeah, I can't praise this enough so far. So that's my take, guys. What do you think of Penguin episode 2? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there commenting, subscribe to my channel. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.